Hello and welcome to This Might Be a Mistake podcast, episode 2. And just want to say a massive, massive thank you to everyone out there who have been listening and been watching on YouTube. From all the analysis we have done, we do see that more people tend to watch it more than listening it, which is totally fine. Uh, that basically means that also you guys prefer looking at me and listening to the episode, which is another thing I'll take as a compliment. Um, we tried having to go through all the editing phases and all of that. And it's quite difficult. It's not as easy as people think or easy as some people say it is. And one person actually called me and said, you talk about we team and all of that, and how many people do you have? And I said there's only one person. So just to clarify, when I talk about social media manager, camera person, person behind the camera, all of that stuff, there's only one person, and that person actually does a lot, even though that person is just behind the camera and doesn't show their face. But they do actually do a lot, and without no experience, just like me, they're also trying their best. And so I just want to give a good thank you and a gratitude, heartwarming thank you for that, for having to deal with me through behind the camera every day. So yeah, so I just want to say a massive thank you to all of you out there who have listened to this. It's been very, heartwarming to get all the responses, all the messages, and that's what kind of drives us, or yeah, drives us to do this. Um, so today we want to speak about a few things that are coming up. So we up now on the second episode of this podcast, and meaning that we just actually published on first just yesterday, speaking in fact, the first episode. So in that short time period, um, getting all those comments and responses from you guys. I know it's not publicly comments as you guys can see, but I have been getting a few messages from some very close friends and some family friends giving me their thoughts on views on the podcast. So, as I mentioned, today's topics are actually going to be a very, I don't know if you guys will find it interesting or not, but it's something I thought would be really good to talk about as we are coming into the month of October. There is going to be a very, very special episode at some point throughout in October. And no, it's not a guest, as I mentioned. It's a very one to camera podcast, but there is gonna be a bit of a funny one. We're gonna try and decorate as much as we can. You probably think by now what it is. Yes, it's Halloween. So we have already started discussing about it and what we're gonna do. So we are gonna decorate a little bit around the studio and have a bit of a Halloween vibe theme um, later on in that month. So today we're gonna discuss about a few things, like I mentioned, and it's about Winter Arc. So Winter Arc is starting tomorrow, as some people know and some people might not know. And Winter Arc is basically, it's a trend that actually started on TikTok. Uh, I do not know who the person is, but it did start on TikTok, and it's basically it's a very personal grind season, which starts from tomorrow, which is October 1st, to January 1st. So it's a 3 month thing, and it goes on during those 3 months due to the fact that the days are shorter. And I think that period is where people come back from their holidays, come back to their real life situations again, not from their vacation mode and all of that. So you have that 3 months to kind of personally grow yourself in a lot of different ways. And some of them are, some habits that some people have been doing for so many years. And one of the habits that personally there is, for example, waking up. We actually, me and my friend who is behind the camera, we actually tried today to wake up at 7, and we discussed about it last night. So when we discussed about it, okay, let's try it, and woke up. So we woke up, and then we called each other to say, okay, I'm up. No, that person is up. And then we cut the call, and then we slept again. So I've been trying to talk to people just at home, trying to figure out, okay, what is it that actually makes you want to get out of bed? So you wake up at 7, and what's that motivation that makes you get out of the bed? Because waking up is okay, but getting out of the bed is the most difficult thing that some people might find challenging, including me. So I asked one of them, and they said, you just have to do it. And as very short answered it is, it also is probably the most realistic answer you're gonna get. Because I think once you start getting up from your bed, you will start changing your lifestyle according to a lot of things. So I am a person who would sleep late, wake up late. So I want to try and do this. So there are other few habits out there for winter arc, like working out daily, drinking water, and just as much as there are certain habits like that, I think it's also about putting a measurable goals. So let's say, okay, today I want to achieve 10,000 steps. And it's like those kind of things. So having to wake up at 6 a.m. or drinking 3.5 liters a day, those kind of measurable goals. So winter arc is pretty much based on those kind of things, and having to track your progress. The most important word in like those kind of challenges is consistency. So being consistent is something that is very, very difficult. And if there are people out there who are very consistent, well, good job, because having to become a consistent person on something is something that takes a lot of time. You have to, we think, okay, being consistent is just doing something every day, repeatedly, like, continuously, but it's not, right? You have to be, there are small, small subtasks inside that one word, like time management and having a checklist, being organized, all of those things comes into that consistency. So doing this winter arc, you would see a change in yourself as a person being consistent. So that's, second part of the challenge. Another thing is having that energy fuel and the mindset to do it. Now, some people might, the day before prep everything, get everything ready, but once they start it, they can see that it's a very difficult thing to do and they might stop it halfway through. And that doesn't mean as a person you're weak or anything like that. It has nothing to do with how a person is. It's more about how challenging a challenge is, right? So that's why it's called a challenge, because it is a difficulty. So it's about having that right mindset. Okay, even if I'm sick, I am gonna try and do this, or figure out different ways on how you can do it without making yourself more tired than what your body is telling you when you are sick. So it is those kind of things. And um, it's also about having a diet, right? Like a diet doesn't mean, okay, you gotta cut down the carbs and, stay like this or have like other different diets. Diet nowadays also just means eating healthy, eating clean. So, just to, because we're talking about this, so before we started the podcast, for like 1 or 2 weeks, I started weighing my food. I used to meal prep and all of that, just to, keep my days busier and easier for myself. And then I had to stop it. And one reason why I stopped it was because I started getting tired with the whole job applications and all of that, things, and then having to meal prep every day and wake up and do all that. It just got tired. But I think that's, something you do. Like, I tried doing different challenges before as well, and it's it's a difficult thing to put into your day in life when you have so much going on. Now, right now, yeah, there's not much going on. Or people might think there's not much going on from my view that people are looking at, and from the way I'm describing how my life is. But it does take a lot of toll in you on what exactly you do in a day. And the challenge that which I'll mention later on. So I tried a challenge during postgrad. It didn't work out because it was so much of heavy workload afterwards. And then I tried doing it again before summer, but then when I got into summer, you're in that summer mood, so you don't really you get the feeling of, okay, I can wait once I get back. So having that mindset is very important, and being consistent, right? Having that consistency. So I am actually personally signing up for this. So I'm going to be starting from tomorrow to be doing the winter arc. We have a lot of things. Oh, well, I myself have a lot of things prepped up, ready to go to start, and hopefully everything should go as smooth as I hope. And the first thing I always think for myself is having that mind quite strong to do it. And I always start something and I never actually finish it. So this time for sure, and plus because I am going to be tracking this, and I'm also going to get you guys involved by making some small videos of me and making sure that I update you guys with my Vintra arc. And if there's anyone out there who are listening who also think that, you want to do this and you think you're alone, feel free to join and let us know. Like we mentioned on the first episode, we have a Reddit page where y'all can put your thoughts, comments, and everything. So put it out there, or even DM us on Instagram, TikTok, wherever you like. So if you guys are thinking about doing it but you're scared to do it because you don't want to do it alone, think of me as a friend and start it. I think it'll be a good change in a lot of people's life, and it'll also kind of give you um, the idea that you can do something. It's not like, oh, you're too old for it, or you're too young for it, or it's too late to start. Personally, I think there isn't a specific time when is the best time to start. You start whenever you want to start, and just do it, right? Doing it is the way you know things are going to work or if things are not going to work. So try it out. That's the best way. Trying it out itself is a big thing. So try it out. And if there are people out there who are going to do this, give us a shout, drop us a message, and give us your tips and thoughts on how you guys do it. We are also going to be posting few clips of me. I mean, it might be funny, but we're going to try and make some few clips of me working out in the gym and giving my daily update on how the winter arc is going. So we will be making like a reel, kind of a TikTok mix, and that won't be on YouTube specifically. That would be mainly on Instagram Reels and TikTok. Maybe we might do like a vlog session just to wrap it all up, but or even like a midway episode of it. But even throughout each episodes, I will be mentioning about how my winter arc is going, the progress, and how it has been benefiting me throughout my day and even mentally, right? Because it's a thing that helps a lot of people mentally, people who feel like they have nothing to do, people who are bored and stuff like that. So if you're like me thinking to do it, join me. I am starting tomorrow. Let's do it together. It'll be something very, very impressive to do if we do it. So let's do it together, and let's be a team. But I mentioned earlier about habits. So having that habits of, you know, waking up early, um, doing the 10,000 steps daily, eating clean, drinking water, all of that. So there is a book, which I'm actually, well, I tried reading it before, but then I kind of stopped because I got lost in my own time. But there's a book I'm starting to read again, and I'm not going to speak so much about it because there isn't much for me to personally say from what I've read, because I'm not going to lie, I've only read like 1 or 2 pages. But from what I have heard from a lot of people is the book is called Atomic Habits by James Clear, and it's basically about habits, right? It's in the book itself. It's in the name. And it talks about the 1% better rule, having those small improvements in your daily compound into making it into a big result. And it's all about building habits. So I think for someone like me who is sometimes a little unorganized, I think this would be a very good book to read and maybe take notes and understand how to build habits, how to have those specific um, specific things, tasks to do throughout your day. And it's not really about goals, right? You don't want to set yourself a goal and then saying to yourself that, okay, today my goal for the next 2 months is I want to lose 10 kg. No. So it's about focusing on a specific thing in the sense of, rather than having that I want to lose 10 kilos, having the mentality that, okay, I want to go to the gym 4 times a week. So when you do that, I think personally you forget about the fact that you're going to losing weight, but that you're trying to build a habit that you'll be doing every week continuously. And by doing that, you keep yourself active, you keep yourself from being bored, and you think of it as a hobby, right? And it becomes a habit to yourself. So that is, I feel like, once I started reading about it, I feel like the book is all about. And I think, like I've said, like a lot of people have talked to me about the book, and they have mentioned that it does actually really help you to make your life easier into making different tasks in your life that you think that you wouldn't be able to do. And it's something that will benefit, especially me, if I'm talking from my point of view. I think it'll help me throughout this, from tomorrow starting, for the next 3 months, to create a different dynamic of habits and all of those things. So yeah, so check it out. It's called Atomic Habits by James Clear, and I think once I start reading about it more, I'll also go into more detail when I read it more. But I'm excited to read it. A lot of you there who are watching, who are my closest people or anything like that, you're probably sitting there wondering, this guy's really gonna read a book? Uh, and the reason why people think that would be because I've probably not read so many books in my life, and I'm more of a visual person. I like to learn things by looking at visual stuff or drawings and those things. I've always had that in me. So for me to understand something, I'm a person who likes to draw it out and then kind of learn from that. So I've never been a person who sit there and read books, and for me, I get very distracted. But I am gonna try. I'm gonna try my best, and even if I don't do it for myself, I'm gonna do it for you guys, because I also wanna showcase to you guys that it is possible to get into certain habits that will make your life much more simplistic and much more healthier. So I think I'm one of those people who are going through a bit of a transition about whether my life is declining or whether my life is about to go up. But I do feel at some point there is going to be a time where it will go upwards, but it's about patience. So it takes time. Okay. So I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but the camera that we are shooting on, it does have a little bit of a function, which is it only allows us to film for 29 minutes and 59 seconds. Yeah. So we are gonna be having like a it's gonna be cutting down halfway through. But don't worry about it. We're just gonna jump straight into it, act like nothing ever happened, and just go straight into it. So, like I mentioned, atomic habits, and you know, you know, like I mentioned, all of those things. So that basically takes me into something I actually mentioned a little bit earlier, which was a challenge that I tried to do during my postgrad and just before summer, which was the 75 hard. So 75 hard is something a lot of people have done before, and there are actually three types of 75 um, challenges. So there's 75 soft, 75 medium, 75 hard. So 75 hard basically it kind of talks about uh, it's basically a challenge where you do a certain different challenges throughout 75 days, and you have to do them every single day. And if you don't do one of the task, you have to restart again. And personally, even though I haven't finished any of the 75 hard I've started, it's a very difficult challenge to do. And the reason behind why I say that is because you have to somehow fit all of these challenges into your daily life schedule. So let's say you are a person who, has a 9 to 5 job. Now, in that 9 to 5 job, you will have to somehow squeeze in, for example, if you're doing 75 hard, you have to squeeze in two workouts, one inside, one outside. You have to drink 3.5 liters of water, or according to your height and weight, um, you have to drink a certain amount of water. Then you'll have to read a non-fiction book, 10 pages daily. You'll have to take a progress picture, and you'll have to follow a specific diet. Now, for a person who has a 9 to 5 job, not me, other people, how do people squeeze that in, right? So there are people who do it, and kudos to you guys. So it's a very challenging um, task. So because I haven't been able to personally achieve that, that's why, like I mentioned, I am personally signing myself up to Winter Arc. And for the first time, because I'm saying it in front of the camera, and there are people who are gonna know now that I have said that I'm gonna do it, I kind of have to live up to my word. And that makes myself knowing that I have to do it and I can't just stop. So I think there are quite a lot of things when it comes to 75 hard, which are quite difficult, right? Is like some people, like something I thought about was, is this something it's doable, or is it something people have just made out there to believe that, you know, it's like a challenge? But I have seen a lot of people do it. I have seen some of my family friends do it, and it's quite impressive on how they do these kind of things. And that kind of made me also realize, okay, why can't I do it? But then I kind of picked the wrong times to do stuff like this. And yes, there are no excuses, but like I mentioned earlier, being consistent is one of my most biggest weakness that I have. So that's why I'm doing this winter arc. I think it will personally benefit me into growing into a better person, not just mentally but physically. So 75 hard is basically that. And if I was going to recommend it, I would first personally say try this out now. Try Winter Arc because it's starting on the 1st of October. I know this episode is coming out on 2nd. But if any of you have it in mind before this video is even coming out to do it, or if you're listening to it and I was thinking about it, just start it. It doesn't matter. Even if you miss one day, it's totally fine. Just forget about it and just go for it. And if you can do that quite well, then I would say you would be ready to do a 75 hard. And the reason I would say that is because they're both pretty much the same length time period, right? It's about 3 months. Yeah, about 3.5 months. So uh, I think that would be a good thing. And there are gonna be times. Now, some thoughts I had in mind. Now talking about 75 hard and winter arc. What are you gonna do if you get sick, right? And I think I mentioned this earlier as well. Like, try and find another way around it. See if you can do different type of workouts without having to tire your body out way too much. And it's about figuring things out. I mean, so it'll be an interesting challenge to do, definitely for sure. But I don't think I can do another 75 hard challenge just saying I'm gonna do it without actually trying to do this winter arc. If I can do it, then pretty much I'll be happy to do it next year. And so yeah, so if there are anyone's like I mentioned out there who wants to do it, feel free to join. Let us know you're joining, and we'll also be happy to be as a team and do this winter arc. Talking about, I think this whole podcast has been, like I said, it has been a lot about the health challenges, fitness. One thing I wanted to before we kind of end all of this, wanted to discuss about is the Whoop band. So as you can see on my right hand, I wear this black band, which is by Whoop. And no, it's not sponsored, but if you guys would love to sponsor us at any time, feel free. We're happy to. Well, I am happy to try it and give my personal review on it. So if you would love to sponsor us, um, we'll just put something up here, and you can contact us personally. But yeah, so the Whoop band, it's basically a band which you have to basically just put on your arm, and it just stays there until you take it off. So it's basically has a sensor underneath, and it basically tracks your sleep, how long you sleep, your quality of sleep, and your REM cycle. Now, don't ask me to go into detail because that's not really happening, because I don't know really the terminologies for everything. So I'm just gonna go very, very short and sweet about everything. So there is sleep, like I mentioned. There is recovery, which is how ready your body is for the day. And third thing is strain. So strain is basically how much effort you put into your workouts, your daily activities, and how will you go on with your day, and you can see uh, how much of that energy you're using. And last but not least, there is the HRV, which is the heart rate variability, which is the basically the key metric for stress recovery and those kind of things. So it gives you a whole report on how your body feels on a day-to-day basis. Now, I have been a Whoop person for about 5 to 6 years, but I did stop personally somewhere between 2024 to just recently, and that was because uh, it started kind of um, it started like taking over my mind. Like you wake up and you look at your app to see how you're doing, so it became a bit of a toll. But now I'm back onto it again, and the reason why is because I think it's so beneficial and it helps you so much. Now, if I talk about the 4 to 3 years I had before I just started wearing it again, it helped a lot in the sense it gives you a lot of data on how your body feels and how you sleep. And when I saw all of these metrics and the numbers, it's quite fascinating to see how much you go into deep sleep, how much you actually into light sleep, how much as a person, how much it changes you, and how much you change because of these data. So, for example, when I was in uni, I used to wear this band, and every Friday night you might go out for a party, you might go and drink alcohol and all this. It literally will not mention, okay, you had alcohol on this specific day, but it will show on your data that, okay, because I had alcohol the previous night, my recovery is going to be 10 to 15%. So on the app, there is a circle for the sleep, recovery, and strain. I don't think I can probably show it, but I don't know if you will be seeing it from this far. But it's on, uh, so it is here. And so today, basically, my recovery is 65%. So it's on yellow. And no, it's not because I had alcohol or anything. I think it's just because I had a very bad sleep. My sleep was 84%, and my strain is 4.9. So there are a few things on this app which helps you. They also recently have got this AI as well involved, so you can ask it why is the strain so low, and it'll give you all the data on specific those things. So I can see my heart rate right now. It's on 89, 90, 91. I don't know why it's going up, but yeah. And then you have the respiratory rate, blood oxygen, HRV, RHR, and your skin temperature. So it does give you quite a lot of details, quite a lot of numbers, and also gives you a recommendation of when to sleep and when to wake up, and how much that will help you on your recoveries. So there are also communities out there where you can join people, and I have joined a few. I have a community with one of my friends from undergrad, and I have joined the UK one. I have joined the golf one. I joined a community which is for people from 20 to 30 years old, and there are quite a lot of communities where you can join. I'm not going to talk about um, pricing and what the models they have, because um, that's really not something this podcast is for. But if, again, Whoop, you would like to sponsor me, I'll be happy to, you know, uh, provide all of that information in maybe another episode, and help people out, and let them know more about it and spread the name. But yeah, like I said, so Whoop is uh, it's like a Fitbit, but it's much more advanced than Fitbit, I would say. On my left hand, I wear a Garmin. It's a Garmin Epix Pro Gen 2, and it's I don't use both to track myself. I think this is more for fitness, walking, just the basic. I don't think I want to. You don't want to go around wearing random watches, right? Like, apparently there are a lot of scandals now where people take all your phones in London and all of that. So we're just trying to keep it simple and minimalistic. So some people might talk about, okay, how will this benefit us? Um, is this really uh, realistic data? And to be honest, when I have compared my Whoop band and my Garmin, they're very accurate. They're very, very accurate. And personally, when I first started, it was like, I don't know. But then when you start looking into it more, you do realize whether your body is tired or not, and it'll exactly tell you that. So when you wake up, you might think, okay, I'm perfectly fine, ready to go, in motion to do whatever. And the app will also, give me some insight on those things. But let's say you wake up from a Friday night and you're hungover. The app will tell you exactly the same thing. Relax, hydrate yourself, and stuff like that. So it does help you in a certain way, but it's for certain targeted audience. It's for people who wants those kind of metrics in their life. If you don't really care about it, then there's no point of having one. But if you are interested in those things, then feel free to have a look at it. So it is those things. And I tried, once I came back from a holiday, summer holidays, I tried working out for a few days and did, like, a few things just to see how the band is working out again. And it really helps. When you work out, have your dinner, then go to bed, wake up, your recovery is good, you sleep well because of, the energy you have done. So that is a good thing. Some people find it as a controversy. Do fitness bands in general make you keep you healthy, or do they make you feel very guilty about how you are as a person? But I think if you take everything out and think of it as a fitness band, and a band that might give you not as accurate, but as most accurate as they can, they are very useful. And as a person who plays golf as well, I think it's really helpful, and that's why I have the Garmin and the Whoop. I've seen a lot of golfers wear it, and I've also seen a lot of people have the Garmin watches, which are like the golf ones, but I have the general all rounder one, which because I wear this like every day. So that's basically what I really wanted to discuss about. Um, the Whoop band and the Garmin and those things. a question I've actually written here on my notes is the tracking a sustainable long term, or does it cause a obsession? I think it's not an obsession. I mean, some people might think of it as obsession because they're really good at marketing it. But I look at it more in the sense of it being helpful for people who likes to get into those things. You know, there's so many fitness gadgets out there, and you know, some people might think, okay, which one is the right one for me, which one is not. But I think if you start at something, you know, start with a Fitbit or an Apple Watch or something like that. Start it there, see how you like it, because it's not for everyone. Some people don't like wearing watches, some people don't like even wearing something like this because it has to be on you for 24/7. So I sleep with this, wake up with this, shower with this, wherever I go, it's always on my arm, and I haven't taken it off since I put it on. And I only probably take it off maybe once a week or something just to clean the sensors so that it doesn't become bacterial from all the working out or sweating and all of those things. So, anyways, uh, enough about all the disciplines and workouts and challenges and all of that. I think we are very close to um, finishing this episode off, but well, I keep saying we because there's another person behind the camera. But last thing I wanted to mention was which is something I talked about on the previous episode about the show Inside. Um, so we're on Inside USA season 1, just finished, and there is a winner. The winner has also been done. It happened on Sunday, and I'm just gonna say out my opinion personally. I don't um, think it's gonna be like something of an hassle, but I don't think whoever won deserved to win. Very sorry. You seem like a very great person, and you did the game show really well. But the way the person won was not deserved at all because all of the people who have joined the game show, you're all there to compete each with each other. Yes, you're friends, you want to make lifetime friends as well, but are you really telling me you want to give when you have the opportunity to win $300,000 just because of friendship? Are you really going to give it to another person? If I was competing with any of my family members in a game show, like, no, I'm not. I don't care if your story is, like, everyone is here for a reason. Everyone is here to win. If you're coming into this show to make friends and give the money so easily to another person, then you might as well not join the show. Because the show has so many influencers, and it's not like none of them have money. I'm pretty sure all of them make money every single day. Even when they were on the show, they were still continuously making money. So, yes, you have personal stories out there which, yeah, might make your story um, more powerful than other people's story. But when you go to a game show like this, I think it's very important that you play for yourself and not for other people. But it was really funny, and it was really fun to watch this. I am gonna say this out, but I think the Inside USA is much more fun than the UK one. Um, it is because it has much more drama, it has more fiery action, and a little bit of those spicy content out there. Um, it was a really fun thing to watch. But fair enough. To the person who won, I think you did whatever you did to win. Fair play. And if Inside would like me to join at some point as well, feel free. Um, I'm not gonna just give away money for anyone like that. I will come in there to be competitive, and if I can win it, I'll win it. If I don't, well, I just came for the experience. But yeah. Anyways, I think that's pretty much it for the episode. Um, Basically, just to give a little bit of a preview for the next episode, we are gonna be talking about how brands mess um, with ourselves. Like, so when you have a company out there, and let's say, for example, in food industry, when you're craving food, how you get certain ads and how you get certain games or stuff like that, how that manipulates you to go and get you those items. And we're also going to discuss about, are certain things that we buy very necessary. Now, I myself, I'm a person who would buy some stuff, who would find it later on. Okay, why did I really buy it? But yeah, so that's going to be the topic. We're going to talk about brands in general, how it really plays with our mindsets, how it goes into that consumer psychology, and from all the hype out there, the clothing stores, from the trends to companies like Supreme and all of those things. So we're gonna dive into those in the next episode. So watch out for that. And like I mentioned, Winter Arc is starting. I am ready, and we are gonna do this for real this time. Hopefully, and I need all your support. And we are going to try and put out small clips every day of the journey, maybe like a small video clip of me talking about how day one was, day two was, etc. And then we might do like a mid-season vlog about how the journey is going. And yeah, so thank you so much for listening today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm not sure whether this is the style of podcast episodes you guys like, but we are trying different things. So let us know in the comments, and make sure that there's also a Reddit page out there. I know it'll take some time to grow it personally, maybe 2, 3, 4 months, but it's okay. We're here for it. We're ready for it. So let us know, and we are very excited and for this journey, and we're very happy and thankful and grateful for all the comments and messages we've been getting. See you guys.